Sam Ohaj.
And John Matthews.
With Season 7 of GBTV's The Gameclock. Today's date is October 30th, so all sports may not be up to date. And your varsity news. NFA football won a thriller against Middletown 27-20. This was such a huge game for both teams. Amari Tice threw 2 interceptions. It didn't look good at one point. Middletown took the lead with 2 minutes left, and then Amari Tice and Sincere Tatum took the team down the field and scored a game-winning touchdown when they threw it to DeAndre Thomas. He's 6'7", and he's only a freshman. He's going to be pretty good.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They play Monroe Woodbury this Saturday at Dietz Stadium in Kingston for the section semis, and they're more than likely going to make the section for the 6th time and play Pine Bush. We'll see.
Over to boys soccer, our varsity team beat Pine Bush 7-2 in the section semifinals. Anthony Murcia led the way with 4 goals. Newburgh will play Monroe Woodbury, the reigning state champions, in the section finale. The section finals. It all comes down to this.
I think it's going to be a really close game.
The past 2 games that Newburgh and Monroe have played this year were just complete down to the wire great games. I think they split it 1-1, or they tied one, and I think Monroe won the other. And I can't wait. I'll be there. It's going to be an exciting match. Everybody should show up and show some support.
Yeah, it's going to be great. In your MLB, NBA, and NFL news, the Astros and Nationals are tied. Game 3. Game 7 tonight. It's going to be a great matchup. Last night, Alex Bregman hit a home run and carried the bat down with him down the field, and the whole stadium in Houston was going crazy. And then Juan Soto, the youngest player to have 3 home runs in the World Series at 21 years old, absolutely crushed one off of Jay Verlander. And he did the same exact hit-off celebration.
It's getting very chippy, and I love when it's high stakes and high thrill, and the crowd gets into it. Game 7's gonna be one for the ages.
Yeah,
this is a great matchup.
You have Garrett Cole, who got rocked by the Nationals, and you have Max Scherzer, who actually came back from his back and his neck spasms. They thought he wasn't gonna play, and he's coming back. So it's gonna be a pitcher's duel, and it's gonna be an insane game because the Astros on paper are so much better than the Nationals. The Nationals last year during the midseason of the All-Star break were 5 games under 500, and no one thought they would be here. They caught fire, and they seem to keep continuing to run with it. And also, too, there's a controversial call between the Astros and the Nationals. They said that the ball hit the runner and he was out, but upon further review, it looked like the runner was safe through the bag line, but this ball never lies, and on the next play, Anthony Rendon crushed the home run off of Justin Verlander. And your NBA news. Knicks rookie R.J. Barrett looks impressive. The 3rd overall pick has been absolutely dominant over his last 4 games, especially against the Chicago Bulls when he dropped 19 and 15 rebounds. He looks to be the shooting guard of the future in New York, and he's going to be very good. I think he's probably going to end up being the best rookie out of that draft class.
Oh, yeah. And Anthony Davis is lighting up the NBA so far. I mean, last night he dropped 40 points and 20-plus rebounds. He's the first Lakers player to do that since, I think you guys have heard of this guy, Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
Wow, that's quite the stat line right there.
Yeah, when he's healthy, he's probably the most dominant big man in the league, but he hasn't played a full season since his rookie year, and even that he was injured for a couple of games. So the health concerns are a little issue with Anthony Davis, but when he's on 100%, no one can stop him.
I think as long as they make the playoffs and he's healthy for the playoffs, they should make a deep run in the playoffs.
Yeah. You know what team does look good? The Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, they actually are. They're 2-2. They're 500 for the first time in a very long time. And both the games that they've lost were to playoff contenders, and they only lost by 1 point in each game. And they blew out the Well, they didn't blow them out, but they beat the Clippers, and for the Suns, that's a quality win.
And they blew out the Warriors because everyone was saying that the Warriors were a little shaky, but they took over and they seemed to find their groove. You know, it's a lot when you lose your best shooting guard, the best shooting guard in the NBA, and it's a lot when you lose the best small forward in the NBA to Kevin Durant and he leaves to the Nets. But I mean, it's not like they would have both played.
Yeah, Devin Booker is really I think he's the next big thing in the NBA, and I think he's gonna carry the weight for the new generation of NBA superstars.
Yeah, no, he's so much fun to watch, especially with his 3-point shot. So we'll see where the Suns end up. I don't think they will make the playoffs this year, but they're definitely gonna have a great improvement. Even with landing the 6th overall pick this year with the new draft lottery, they have a clue of what they're doing.
Yeah.
And your NFL news, you know who doesn't have a clue what they're doing? Who? The Cleveland Browns.
Oh, Freddie
what a terrible
Kitchens.
team.
That guy stinks.
Yeah, the Browns got absolutely destroyed by the Patriots. But I must say this, the Patriots offense isn't really what's carrying them this year. Tom Brady is just kind of being a game manager, and it pains me to say that because he is the GOAT, but it's the defense that's really getting all these turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, credits to Tom Brady, but I mean, sometimes you just gotta give credit when credit's due, and the defense has definitely been carrying their offense this year, and I don't think that bothers anyone on the offense at all. You know, I think they joke about the Patriot way, but I really do think that they're all in for the team, and that's what's the most important. And Tom Brady's always been that kind of guy.
Yeah, and it's crazy to see that the first year that Coach Bill Belichick picks up the headset with not having a defensive coordinator, they're the best defense in NFL history right now.
Yeah.
He's the best coach. The NFL trade line was boring.
The trade deadline, there weren't really any moves besides the Jets sent Leonard Williams to the Giants, so he's staying put in New Jersey technically. But that's the first trade between the two franchises in the history of their two franchises, and I think it was an interesting trade. What do you think?
I think it was a little bit interesting because they have a decent defensive line. It's not like they're super bad, and Leonard is in his 5th year of his contract, so they're gonna have to pay him next year. And he was the 5th overall pick in the 2015 draft. But another trade that happened was Aqib Talib got his salary dumped in Miami, and he's on the IR, so it's not like anything is really gonna happen. They just took the salary so the Rams could help try to pay Jalen Ramsey next year, but I don't really know who else their cornerbacks are going to be. They got rid of Marcus Peters and they got rid of Aqib Talib, so now they only have one good cornerback in Jalen Ramsey. And don't get me wrong, he takes away one side of the field with how great he plays, kind of similar to Primetime.
And Darrelle Revis.
But I don't really think the Rams defense is that much. They're triple teaming Aaron Donald, and the pass rushers like Dante Fowler, and Abukam, they don't really seem to get that much pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, but for Week 8, the two players that were they look like video game characters. They were making insane highlight plays were Deshaun Watson and Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett, he broke 2 tackles and rolled out, throwing an absolute dime to T.Y. Hilton on in the end zone. Or not in the end zone.
Midfield, and they won the game.
But he was backed up to the end zone, and Deshaun Watson twisted out of an insane armbar tackle, and guy's eye poked out with one eye. He could only see through one eye. He threw the game-winning touchdown to Fells. That was probably the craziest touchdown pass I've seen all season.
Yeah, I mean, luckily he's still able to see out of his eye, but still, he said it. He was blind when he made that throw. He just chucked it and made the play. So Watson, he's in consideration for MVP. He's playing absolutely dominant, and most quarterbacks haven't really came back from an ACL tear, similar to how Carson Wentz has been playing.
Yeah.
He has the talent once, but he just hasn't been that MVP
It's
form.
been very rocky for the Eagles so far. Like they're a good team, but they just aren't on the same page yet. I think Coach Doug Patterson needs to really just grab a hold of the guys in the locker room and make sure that they're on track coming soon later in the season.
They did have a dominant win against the Buffalo Bills, but
they are the Bills. I mean, classic Bills. They have a great defense, but their offense just isn't there, and they haven't really been contenders since the '90s when they they lost 4 straight.
Yeah, they lost
Super Bowls?
4 straight. Yeah. One of the best teams to ever lose 4 straight Super Bowls.
The only team to ever lose 4 straight championships.